is it. The final week of Genesis' incredible finance offer. You have until this Sunday to get 5 years zero-interest financing with zero down on any purchase. Guys, shop early and let Genesis help you with that home run gift. We have the jewelry women love. Prices starting at $250 up to $500,000. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants in stock and ready to go. And with this special finance offer, everything's affordable. How about a $6,000 designer ring? You pay just $100 a month. Or go over the top with a $10,000 diamond bracelet and pay just $166 a month. It's the smartest and easiest way to buy. And yes, everything's included, even all GIA certified diamond engagement ring, as well as all Swiss timepieces. But please, hurry. This amazing offer ends this Sunday and will not be extended. 5 years, zero interest, and zero down. Genesis Diamonds. Open Sundays now till Christmas. Shelbyville Road Plaza. On approved credit, see store for details.
This is Marcus Maven, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
That's his game. They don't get back. Hayward's look at this steal. Here's the steal. 3-on-1. Alley-oop. Oh, my goodness. Marcus Maven. And you certainly are in love with him here in Louisville. Marcus in the open floor. Hops incredible. Here comes Maven off the steal. Oh, my goodness.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You're about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven. Break it down like this. Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's midday with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station, and people, you better enjoy it. You better enjoy it. You are lucky if you get to experience a couple of coaching changes in your lifetime. You better enjoy it for the good, for the bad, for the indifferent. Steve Rummage in the building. Brian Hall is in the booth.
I can't really breathe in like that because there is a massive stench of coffee beans in my nose. I think I'll be on a total caffeine high.
Are my coffee beans strong?
You have 4 different cups of. You have espresso cups, a coffee shop cup, Tyler Mountain water cups with coffee in them that you mixed. I've never seen somebody mix so many different cups into one cup of coffee to make one just blah, coffee.
Steve, one cup had sugar in it.
Yeah.
One cup had cold water in it to cool down my coffee.
Yeah.
Espresso is just a little extra kick. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Brian Hall in the booth. Brian, what's going on, my man?
Nothing, guys. Just another day in the Ville. About to
Stop
celebrate
saying nothing. Everything is always something, Brian. By the way, you didn't respond to my tweet. I tweeted at you. I tweeted at Steve.
What time was it?
Neither one of you responded. Sometime yesterday, I'm watching some kid at Western Kentucky just posterize somebody, and I needed y'all to be there for me to talk about this.
You talking about Josh Anderson?
Yes, I'm talking about Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Steve?
That's the dunk of the week.
Why didn't you respond?
It was good because I didn't know you were trying to throw shade at Stansbury about paying players. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no! Listen,
put a dollar sign on
that was an accident. I mean, sometimes you can't tell the dollar sign and the S.
Why I didn't respond.
But see, I'm so happy with my basketball team right now that I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Hey, good
you guys
dunk.
do what you want as long as we're winning.
Yeah, good dunk, man.
That's an absolute fact. Had Coach Mack been on a slower start, I'm calling the NCAA myself.
Yeah.
I'm reporting.
Yeah,
I'm reporting everybody who I think might have illegal contact with anybody.
See, and I'm saying, and I'm over here going, that's the type of guys we need.
Go give me some players, Happy.
Instead, I'm comfortable.
Samuel, why ain't you reclassified?
Hey, you need to watch one Western game, and they're a fun team.
No, they are. Yeah.
No, I guarantee it. But listen, today's one of those days. No, you know what? I won't even start with today, Steve. I'll start with yesterday.
Okay.
You know what yesterday was to me? And Brian, I need to know your opinion on this one. You especially, Brian, because you have been in this situation, you do know it and you'll know exactly what I'm saying. Brian, you have been either best man or wedding planner or involved in the process
This is true.
of a lot of weddings, right?
He's been in 70 of them in the last year.
Okay, so here's the thing, Brian. Yesterday, I felt like it was the last day before your brother gets married or your best friend gets married or proposes, right? It doesn't matter if it's a wonderful woman, or if you're talking about your sister. It doesn't matter if it's a wonderful man. Your family is more important than than this newcomer, right? So what do, Brian? You say, hey, man, I don't know about this, right?
Yeah.
You say, listen, are you mature enough to handle this marriage thing? Because, bro, I know you, right? Are you sure you're ready? Listen, man.
You really want to be a part of this family?
Yeah. Like, man, sometimes, man, when she hugs other guys, man, I don't know about her, man. Like sometimes she just looks a little too happy, right? I mean, sometimes she's just a little too perfect, right? I mean, y'all seem happy together, but I don't know, right? But you go through it.
Yeah.
You have that conversation. You have had that conversation, Brian, for sure.
Definitely, 100%. I know exactly what you're talking about. Everybody's like, do you really want to do this?
You're right.
This is a big jump in your life.
Right,
man.
because
Name the friend. I'm kidding.
right.
kidding.
But here's the thing. To me, I felt like yesterday was us pointing out the flaws.
Yeah.
Us saying, are you sure you want to do this? There are so many other options out there. What about her? What about her? What about her? Why this one? Why now? Why not wait? That's exactly what yesterday's conversation felt like from the beginning. Right? But you know what happens after he tells you, nah, man, it's time. He tells you it's time and this is the one, right? You know what happens? We say, okay, right? And then we have the bachelor party, right? And get crazy and everybody cries and does everything, right? And then you get up the next day, you pat your dude on the back and you say, let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this, right?
It's probably the best analogy you could make.
Right? And today I felt like, dude, let's go, right? Because like me pointing out flaws, you're convinced. If you're convinced, I'm convinced for you. I'm with you. You got good. You make good decisions. You seem to be, a guy who knows what he wants. You knew what you want. I tried to talk you out of it, right? But you knew, Vince, Broski, you're confident. Let's go.
I don't know if you all want me to do this, but I'm going to do it.
All I do is win, no matter what.
I'll take it. Listen, I got no problem with that one. I got no problem with that one. That'll work. You know what? Another shout out to Male High School. Another shout out to Central. Another shout out to Cal. You went down here winning state championship. Steve, are you sure they won't repeat? Do they got a shot at repeating?
I'm not all I do is win yet. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not. Yeah.
That's why I said I'm not sure if you're all into this.
This is not my vibe right now. But I will say, no, yeah.
What's my example?
The Louisville schools, yeah, they'll never let them go down and win 3 again. But they did go down and work them. Okay,
but aside from that,
here's my thing. We need to all be adults right now. Okay. I thought Keith Pointer said it best on Twitter today when he said it's not about who Satterfield is, it's more about who he wasn't.
Right.
I agree with that. I'm going to tell you, I personally think there were a couple different directions I would have went, but we didn't. And this comes back to your point. If Vince feels like that this is the guy, that should go. That should be if he interviewed, he kind of locked in on this dude. He feels like that this is the guy that can lead our program. And this is why I totally disagreed with the texter yesterday that was talking about the 180.
Right.
At the end of the day, this Scott Satterfield's going to be the head coach. He's going to sign a deal today. He's going to be the guy by tonight. That's the official head coach of the University of Louisville. What I say now is going into it, I can have reservations. You should. Yesterday, last week, I can say, that's not the dude I want. Absolutely not. But as of today, he's signing a contract to be the coach at the University of Louisville. Now, is what we don't need is more he wasn't my guy. I hope he sucks so I can be right type stuff.
That's a fact.
That's what I don't want.
Yeah.
That's why I'm totally comfortable saying he's the guy. I'm on board. I wasn't on board. I wasn't fully on board yesterday, and that's fine because he wasn't my coach. He is today.
Not only quest to be right guy. You know who popped out yesterday? The guy that I call Twitter paparazzi guy, right? Your guy, forced to lie to be right guy, hindsight to be right guy, was also Twitter paparazzi guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Screenshot, like yesterday I realized that there's a true fear. There is a true fear of the person who says, okay, I'll get behind it.
Yeah.
Something so simple, people.
Sure.
A guy who says, I don't like it, but I'll get behind it because here's the thing. Vince, you have more to lose than any of us.
Yes.
This is your guy. This is your hire. When you bring this guy into the family, you're vouching for this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So guess who owns it? Vince.
Absolutely.
Right? Like when you take a risk, your rep is on the line. Not listen, the fan base that either liked it or hated it, right? We're going to watch it unfold. We're going to cheer and support it. We're going to do our part. You know, like in my opinion, this is not me being a management guy. This is me being, I actually root for the University of Louisville, right? So I can get behind it. But I noticed, people, if you said this is not your first choice, or if you said I don't like the hire, I would have went a different direction. And by the time you knew that this was going to be the guy, if you said, okay, now I can look for some positives. Paparazzi guy was, oh, well, this morning you said that he wasn't your first choice. You're a hypocrite. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Are you seriously saying that my opinion and my word is somehow, stained because I said he's not my first choice, but I will support him moving forward. I will give him my resources, you know what I'm saying? My support, my paying for my ticket, my whatever, right? To ensure that he succeeds. Not to mention, what did Vince Tyree tell you over and over again? What's most important to me, what I want is a guy who's dying to be here, right? I can work with that. I can work with the more passionate guy than I can the guy who says, I need more, right? Guy who comes in here and says, oh, we don't have a sports psychology room? Oh, when I was at Washington State, we had this and this and that. Oh, hey, I need this whole wall, blocked out. I need a window right here. I need a door right here. Every other guy that's used to Power 5 lap of luxury football program is going to come with his hangups too. Just like Satterfield is going to come up with his Jaden Johnson transfers or decommits, right? Like, yes, that comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? But what also comes with the territory is the ability to say, my way is unconventional, but if you don't buy in, you're not here.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I said this yesterday. I said once he gets the job, then we'll start to see. And again, it's going to be made official later, but I keep saying he's got the job. I mean, he's got the job. So I said then I'm going to start to look and look. And here's the deal: it's okay to say I'm a little hesitant about it.
Right.
That's okay. It's okay to say I'm not hesitant about it. I think he's a monster hire. That's okay too. I'm all right with that. But I said there's going to be some things I'm going to watch as he gets the job. Now, the reason you listen to my voice today and you hear, well, Steve sounds a little more calm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last night.
This is the process, Steve.
News breaks about Scott Satterfield.
Right?
I go to Twitter. I see things with players. I see Mekhi Becton, Corey Reed, Anthony Johnson. The list goes on of players who, Des Fitzpatrick was one, who say, in a nutshell, they all said it in different ways, but basically, great hire. Let's go. Like I'm ready. Like I love it. That for me was the first thing I said, okay, all right. Players respect the hire because, and you can say, wow, those guys, I don't care what those guys think. They were 2-10. Well, that's where like guys like me and Drew disagree because I think there is a lot of talent on this team, a whole lot of talent on this team. I think that if these guys leave, they do leave for places like Florida, like Michigan, like South Carolina, like Virginia Tech. Like, that's where these guys are going. You're not going to see a lot of guys leaving here going FCS, going Conference USA, different things like that. So these guys are obviously buying in. Big deal for me right off the bat. The second thing, cut me off anytime if you want to add into. Second thing I say, then I start to go, now what are national people saying about him? Because I don't care what they're saying about him when it's a potential, because you may want, if he's a crap hire, you may want Louisville to make that hire. So I don't care what you're saying while he's a possible candidate, because if you don't want the University of Louisville to be good or different, or I'm not saying there's a huge conspiracy there, but just saying, you say, oh yeah, that's a guy. Hey, don't go get Mike Leach or anybody.
Just like we did.
Right. So now I see guys like I'm gonna go through. I see Stuart Mandel, national writer, that says, "Congrats to Louisville. It's unfortunate for UNC that he ended up in the same conference." I see things like Barton Simmons saying, "So this is a great hire. Louisville fans that are bummed to miss on Braum should perk up because you got one of the best head coaching candidates in the country." I see guys like old players like Kyle Bolin saying, hey, tagging him saying, hey, I'd love to come and coach for you. Just throwing it out there. Yeah, like you're my guy here. As the more and more, like I said, I go down, I see Jeff Fischel, who's an SEC or who's an ACC monster, as far as, it says, ask Georgia Tech fans if they're jealous. Ask UNC fans if they're a little curious what would have happened if they would have hired him.
Right.
So Satterfield is a great hire. I see people from that area in North Carolina, beat writers saying, you're welcome Louisville football for the championship that you're going to win in a few years.
I got a text from my cousin cursing about Louisville. My cousin is an Appalachian State alum, football player. My father, Appalachian State alum, football player, right?
Yeah.
You bleepity bleep, bleeping Cardinals.
I mean, don't let that go overstated. Your dad played. I don't know if a lot of people know that.
They don't know that.
Started at Appalachian State.
Later.
Yeah.
But Appalachian State.
Yeah.
Michael Maben. Right? So, here's the thing, too. My cousin says, you stole our guy. He wasn't happy about it. I thought that was funny. I liked your bringing of the national perception. And you want to know what else, people? Well, since we're here on the subject, since we're having this conversation, do you know that Louisville has a reputation for hitting coaching hires out of the park? Right? Yesterday I said, don't let the outlier be your argument. You know how many times we reach for Crackthorpe? How many conversations we go, oh, it could be another Crackthorpe, right? The reason you do that is because that's all you got. That's all you have in the hiring. Like, let's be honest. Bobby ended bad. You would give anything to have the years under Bobby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no, you can't replace a Heisman Trophy winner. And you can say, well, Bobby didn't do it, but Bobby recruited him. And Lamar Jackson said.
No. I know what you're saying, but I'm not in the mood. Like, I'm totally not in the mood to Lamar, one-man show, did it all himself, covered up all. No. I am not in the mood for the coach, stop.
Right.
Because you would never let someone take 1 ounce of credit. Well, when you get employee of the month at your job, you know what I'm saying? You don't say, well, all the coworkers around you covered for you. And no, you won employee of the month. Your team won because you did what you had to do to make sure your team, whatever.
And to my point is, even if you do say that, I mean, this is what I'm saying is, I mean, Lamar said, I came to Louisville because Louisville offered me a shot to play quarterback. You don't offer him a shot to play quarterback, he stays in Florida somewhere.
Right. Like I'm not in the mood to discredit game days. I'm not in the mood to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in the mood for any of that.
No, 3 game days in 2 years.
Right. I'm not in the mood for any of that, whatever you're trying to come up with. Okay. Your Rick, your championships, your winning, your constant, barrage of success, it ended bad. You'd give anything. Okay, if you wouldn't, every other university on the planet would give their right arm to have the year of the Cardinal. You know what I'm saying? Or just, to be where this program is at, sports program university, your reputation for hires precedes you and carries on. They don't know, they don't pay attention to between Jurich and Vince Tyree and whoever else was before. They don't do that. They say Louisville's always getting the best coaches. They're always going to get the coach. They're always doing it. But John L., he did his thing. Bobby did his thing. Charlie Strong, you're known for having the best coaches. Period.
Yeah.
Coaches are known to, like we said yesterday, coaches will leak Louisville's name first to get everyone else scared, to work everyone else up in, to work everybody else up in arms, to get raises. You use Louisville's name because they're known for tracking down and landing the best coaches.
Yeah.
Regardless of who your athletic director is.
Sure.
So then I'm thinking yesterday, Marcus, why don't you just let the reputation, let the history? I always say you can win here because it's the program. Like I said that. I said Vince Tyree at the athletic director position is set up to win, right? Like your coach coming in, Chris Mack is put in a position to win. When he comes with his presentation, it could be the same presentation that he gives at Xavier.
Yeah.
It could be the same thing that help you win. But you're gonna win here because you have the base to back it up. And I really woke up so much more relaxed. I mean, I went to bed more relaxed. Belvedere. I went to bed a lot more relaxed than than I was yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
So getting here, not to loop that in a circle, but just say, look, dude, why was I tripping?
No. I mean, I don't say that because I think that there's still reason to, if you want to have reservations, I think that that's still there. But
is there somebody who you would not have had any reservations for?
Yeah,
Leach.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think because I would have just said they're proven. I'm not worried about it. I know what he does. I know what he can do. But that doesn't always mean that's going to be the best guy for the job either.
You wouldn't have been worried about Leach saying something crazy or something?
Not at all. I would have embraced it, loved it.
Because you would have just looked at the product on the field.
Yeah, yes. Right. The Mark Ennis, Mike Leach interactions would have been glorious on the radio. So I was all in for it. But I moved next to recruiting. I say recruiting. So okay. Jody Demling says, Cardinal Authority says, for the record, 73 of his 146 signees or commitments during Scott Satterfield's time were from Florida or Georgia. I listened this morning because it's an ongoing process.
I complained about that.
Absolutely, I did too. I listened this morning in an interview that I'm sure we will probably have a little bit of or something later of the beat writer from App State was on with Drew Diener this morning. really good interview, very insightful about Satterfield. Said that Satterfield, this is one of the things that really, why I was more calm moving into this morning, but when I heard this interview, I really settled down a little bit. He said Scott Satterfield realized to be good in college football, you have to go to Georgia and Florida. And said
my biggest complaint.
He made a point to start to build an Appalachian State name in the state of Florida. I said, okay, he gets it. He gets that. The other thing he said, he talked about, he understands that local guys are important. I think that's a big deal. If he understands that, then that tells me he's going to come in here and he's going to understand I need guys, which is going to move me into my next point, staff. I need guys who can get the local landscape as well and know the local landscape. Recruiting also. I talked to a friend before I get to staff. I talked to a guy yesterday. I tweeted a little bit about it. Guy I've known for a while, North Carolina guy. I don't want to talk about the amount of money he gives at North Carolina, but I've said on here before, I think he set one row behind the bench. We can go back to both recent Final Fours, and I can point him out to you.
Right.
He said the thing about Satterfield, he said it's a lot like you say about Rick Pitino back in the day. He said Satterfield gets on a guy early. He said in all these schools around here, he said all of a sudden, he said they get a Carolina offer. They get an NC State offer. They get a Duke offer.
You have to be good at that to survive. You have to be good at that to be competitive.
Yes.
To get kids up in Boone, you have to get in there early on a kid. You have to win a kid's trust early.
Right.
It's important.
That helped me out. Last thing, and this is what I'm going to be a little more discreet about, but last thing, have a few conversations last night. Some guys I would really like to see on staff here that say, I either have or will be making that phone call very, very soon.
Right. So a re-energizing of the
one of which, let me say, you get it worked out. I think there's a defensive end here in town.
Oh, Steve.
May not be playing for your rival.
Oh, Steve.
But we'll see. I'm just saying,
Steve, it's too early for that.
I know. So that's why I come in here today and I say, okay, let's see what you got. Now, I will say this. Now let me be this guy. He's a great coach, looks like, great mind. Oh, by the way, Kelly Dickey does tweet out, he has the best record of any coach we've ever hired. It's been a head coach. Now, some of that can be skewed, but Howard's really the only one I think that can be skewed because Howard was at Miami. Everybody else was at a lower level. But I will say this. This would be my one criticism. You got to get some tougher guys looking on staff because he is not a tough-looking dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. What did you just say, Steve?
Yeah. No, that's the one thing about Satterfield.
He is not intimidating.
Satterfield is not exactly Mr. Intimidation. I'm going to need some tough-looking dudes on the sideline. So
okay, so let's get this elephant out of the room right now. Okay, Dad played there.
Mm-hmm.
Cousin played there.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Reeves-Maben ejected from against Appalachia. Am I allowed to go bombard that press conference, Brian Hall, and say, "What did you think about my son getting ejected from your game?" Am I allowed to go to that press conference?
Maybe too soon.
Is it too soon?
Maybe second.
How mad is Rick Bozich and Jake Lorem and
everybody would give you the death stare.
All these local reporters are going to be so angry. Do you remember how they looked at me when I said, "What's up, Coach Mack?" Yeah, you remember me?
Yeah, you made him reminisce on that.
Right. Yeah, I'm the guy you cheated out of a win over in Alaska, abusing the rules. That was an anti-hack-a-shack rule, Coach Mack.
You know what? You
cheated us.
I think you need to go in and I think you lighten the mood and you kind of bring that up like mid press conference.
No, first
question.
Starting
to get a little dry.
No,
we're
first
getting
question.
the cliche answers and Marcus is like, "Hey, about my son getting thrown out."
I'm gonna let him do his welcome speech. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here. First question, front left, Marcus Maben. Go. So, Coach, about 3 years ago, Vols, Appalachian State, Opening punt?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's better you than me, because the reason I'm not really a big question asker is because I'm like, Steve Rummage, Middays with Marcus Maven, 93.9 The Ville. The national championship next year is in New Orleans. Should I or should I not be looking at hotel rooms? Are we? No? Is anybody?
What are your expectations?
Yeah.
10 and 2 or 9 and 3?
Yeah. What's acceptable to you?
Right?
Okay,
Right.
Coach, scenario.
4th and 3.
Yeah.
4th and 3. You're playing against Florida State, right?
Yeah.
You have the lead, right?
Yes.
Do you kick the field goal
Or throw it.
or throw it to your tight end
And you can't
when
let me do
Jalen Smith
that.
is wide open?
You can't let me do that, because then he says, "Well, I think you." And I'm like, and then I forget to put the mic down, and I look at you, and I say, "This guy's a jackass." I mean, I didn't even know.
hot mic.
There was apparently guys that do Kentucky stuff that I'd never met that do things in this studio. This is how bad I am. That do things in this studio that I'm sitting there and somebody mentions something. They're like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna be doing the post game afterwards," and I'm like, "God, those guys are idiots." Hey, in the chair next to him, I'm just like, I don't know. Man, those guys are idiots. I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, no, that's me.
And it's like, oh,
Thanks.
I look him up and down and say,
Good luck.
no, I look him up and down and say, yeah, I stand by my comments. All right.
Let me get to the phone lines. Let me get to the Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Center hotline, starting off with Lawrence. Lawrence, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Far away, my man.
What's up, guys?
Chilling.
The first thing I did after Satterfield was hired as head coach, I started looking at Georgia Tech defense, because he's going to probably hire that guy as defensive coordinator. I started looking at that.
I wouldn't be so sure. I wouldn't be so sure just yet. But yeah, it's worth it. That he definitely would be somebody on the list, I imagine.
And I started looking at Georgia Tech recruiting classes. I'm just trying to do some more research on Satterfield and who he might hire on that coaching staff. And everybody kept on saying, Stephon LaFleur needs to be on that coaching staff because it helps recruit local talent.
Right.
So
I agree with that.
right now, I'm just dealing with him being the next Louisville head coach. I ain't judging the guy to after he loses his first game as a Louisville head coach. Because you know me, I love you till you lose your first game, then I can start judging, really start judging you. So
Right.
I'm just going to deal with it right now.
No, Lawrence, I appreciate the call. Like most of us.
Yeah, I mean,
unless it's like a Notre Dame overtime,
no, we open with Notre Dame though. That's what I'm saying, man. We as fans, it's like that's what I said this morning. Let's all be adults. Hey, if in 2 years, 3 years, we're sitting here and you're still winning 4, 5, 6 games,
Right.
and we're going, dude, Vince gonna have to eat that one, and we'll talk about it then. You know who will still probably be available?
Yes, because speaking of being adults, people, how long listen, what was the over-under before Steve Rummage found a way to incorporate this next statement into the show?
Do you know how sick I am? And this is one I told you. You can tweet me, eat nasty stuff about it. I really don't care. There's some I will back off on. This one I won't.
Never.
I saw that Urban Meyer was stepping down and Ryan Day was taking the job, and my first thought was, well, Jeff, you're not getting the Ohio State job now, are you? That's one down. Let's go, Ohio State. Good for you.
One new great job that you can't have.
Good for you.
You know what? He can't even do the think about it. It doesn't matter what job comes open right now. He can't go because he's loyal to Purdue, right? Like he can't just up and say, "Oh, I just couldn't pass up this opportunity."
Oh yeah. No, sorry, dude. No, Ohio State's gone. Bye-bye. That's one out the door.
Who's next on the list?
Notre Dame. Come on, Notre Dame. I need one of your coordinators to get it going, Brian Kelly. I'll sacrifice. You know what? Beat us next year. Don't come in and get beat early. We'll be fine. We'll win the rest of the games.
We'll just take our first opening loss in a heartbreaking fashion.
Yeah. Brian Kelly, you stick right where you're at for a long time. Hope he's 20 more years there.
So this is going to be a disease for you.
Oh, it didn't know. It's more than a disease. This is a full out sickness. Like I said, I knew it was a sickness when I read an article and they said Vance Morrow was at the Christian Academy game. Vance Morrow was a recruiter for Kentucky. I was like, good. Flip Milton Wright. We'll deal with him. We'll figure it out.
You did say that too.
I know. So flip him.
You said you don't care.
No.
If he steals, if UK steals all of Jeff Brom's Kentucky recruits.
We'll deal with him there. Figure it out. We'll beat them. I'm confident Satterfield's a better coach than Stoops. Let's go. Take him.
Let's go do this.
Take him.
And see, I didn't even want to get into like details of what offense, his offense is going to look like here or anything like that.
Yeah, but I think we can. I tweeted this morning, and I stand behind it. I think watching his offense, the more I have, I think Malik Cunningham is the leader in the clubhouse to be the starting quarterback. I know it's very, very early. They haven't even practiced yet. But watching his offense,
I know.
He wants a guy like Malik Cunningham.
Got to be able to run.
Yeah. I think Malik Cunningham, unless there's something that a JUCO or a grad guy that could come in.
Here's what's going to happen, people, and this is something you should know, and I'm 100% right, and if you disagree, you're 100% wrong. Listen to me, because I'm going to tell you how this is going to work. He runs, right? He does a lot of running.
Runs a lot, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's what you do when you run the ball a lot. You can recruit 7 running backs. And you can say 3 of y'all are going to have stupid numbers, right? You can recruit a lot of running backs, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you do, Steve. You get them here, and then 4 of those 7 are going to realize these other 3 are animals.
Yeah.
And then you know what you do? You turn that running back, you put 50 pounds on him, and you say, son, if you want to play outside linebacker, if you want to make $10 million, you move to outside linebacker. You keep your running back instincts, you move to outside linebacker. And when I put you on a blitz, you're going to run up and you're going to hit the hole just like you do as a running back. Your natural instincts are going to make you an animal outside linebacker if you're willing to do it. Right?
Yeah.
So now, when you have a reputation of being able to get a lot of yards at running back, you can recruit 15 running backs. You know what I'm saying? And turn them into every position you want. Now, you have a real, pardon the expression, speed city.
Perfect.
Did you not want to hear that name again?
But
you get my point?
No, but the other thing I noticed about his offense, though, while I do agree with you, he's going to run predominantly, or what he does now, I do think he gets his guys in space. I think he gets his receivers in space. And you have weapons here. A guy like Des Fitzpatrick, one-on-one, he showed you multiple times this year. You catch the ball, you make a move, you take off running. That's
when
it.
You can effectively run, you can isolate good receivers.
Yeah. So I still think the receivers are going to have a good thing going.
Right. But it's like when you talk about what you're saying, you have big-time receivers that can be out on an island now.
Mm-hmm.
When you go heavy run, heavy misdirection run, heavy, I can get 3 yards on the run. Now you got your playmakers out. So here's the thing. While you might not get, let's say Dez gets 7 targets, last year. Now he gets 4, but he's leading the nation in yards per catch.
Yeah.
He's averaging 86 yards, a game. You know what I'm saying? He's averaging 86 yards a game because he has 4 catches, for 39 plus yards. Just something stupid like that. Maybe less targets, maybe bigger numbers. But again, you can sell a lot of people, get a lot of yards. So you can get a lot of athletes at their positions that you need playmakers. Once you do that, your recruiting opens right on up.
Yeah.
Todd, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
Good morning, brothers. How y'all doing?
Good.
All right. Well, I did not know it. I was talking to Brian before I got on, and he said, I didn't get to hear Friday's show, but he said you had on Brant Wilkerson from the Winston-Salem Journal. And, I was reading his article about who is Scott Satterfield, and it was giving numbers. And I'm sitting there, I'm amazed at what I'm seeing for a school the size of Appy State. And, since 2014, the attack has averaged number 14.
Yeah, it was on Mark's show.
And he's had a 1,000-yard rusher every season since then, and had 2 of them in 2016. So that told me, hey, man, this guy knows how to block for a runner. This guy knows how to develop a player to be able to, get the most yards. And I'm just sitting here. Then I looked at his defense. The defense this season ranked 4th overall in the nation, and over the past 5 seasons is an average of 17th. And I'm sitting here going, man, did we really get this coach?
So you're starting to be sold on him.
Oh, I'm telling you right now, I think, and like I said, I was talking to Brian, said he's always active in the community, recruiting, like you mentioned earlier about recruiting, want to recruit Louisville. I'm telling you, and he goes down to the places we were going, like Florida, Georgia. I mean, I am very, very excited about Coach Satterfield coming here, and I think we're going to see some great things in the next 2 years.
Appreciate the call, Todd. I mean, listen, he's not hard. Every coach is easy to detract from. Every coach has positives that can be sold, especially any coaches with historical winning records. That's where we're at. We're going to take a quick commercial break, reset. Midday with Marcus Maybe at 8150. 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
If your basketball's bouncing, that must mean the weather is getting colder, which also means you're getting ready to find out if your heating system is ready for the season ahead or headed to the bench. This month, you can get 36 months special financing on qualified Train comfort systems or $1,000 back from the DFH Company. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard not to call DFH Company today, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Subject to credit approval, visit dfhcompany.com for complete details.
Chances are you've recently talked about it, or thought about it, or might even be thinking about it right now. You're thinking it's time to upgrade your vehicle, and boy, do we have the place for you. Globe Auto Sales. Family owned and operated, serving the greater Kentuckiana area since 1972. Why Globe Auto Sales? Well, the answer is simple. The staff at Globe Auto Sales focuses entirely on the quality buying experience, not the high-pressured sales pitch you get at other places. So while you're thinking about it, stop by Globe Auto Sales located at 5705 Bardstown Road. Check out their inventory at Globe Autos online. Oh, and be sure to tell them you're a friend of 93.9 The Ville.
What makes Miller Lite such a great beer? That it has more taste, or that it has only 96 calories? Yes. And yes. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true. Great beer, great responsibility. 2018 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Average analysis 12 fluid ounces, less than 1 gram protein and 0 grams fat.
What good is it having that beautiful view on your front and backyard if you can't see through your old grimy windows? Or how about when you let a little fresh air and your windows are constantly getting stuck? If this sounds like your current situation, it's time to make that call to Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, the best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted the most efficient for 2018 and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and all 5-star reviews, which means these are exactly the new windows you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive, Louisville, Kentucky, or 502-494-0120. That's Windows Plus. Make the call.
You know, the perfect bank should be mobile, not just online. It should have amazing programs for all your financial needs. It should be involved in the community, and you should be one of the owners. Actually, that's not a job for a bank. You need something a little different. Luckily, we're not a bank. We're so much more. And now we're the preferred credit union partner of the University of Louisville. Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently. Visit WeSeeUofLDifferently.com for more information.
So, Steve, what do you think about Billette Scorns and Sons Collision Centers, man?
Let me just say, I had a friend who totally ruined his car. They got him taken care of quick, efficiently, and out the door.
Family owned and operated for over 70 years, Ed Scorns is the leader in auto repair technology and technician training. Do not let just anyone repair your vehicle. It's your choice. Tell your insurance company you're taking your vehicle to Bill Ed Scorns & Sons Collision Centers. There are 2 locations, Bardstown Road and Shelbyville Road in Middletown. Or call us at 491-BODY or visit us at etscorns.com. That's ETSCORNS.com.
There are times in life when certain situations are unavoidable. As life passes, we get a little slower and a little more achy than the year before. All part of life. But when we lose the ability for intimacy with the one we love, it can feel much worse. Unfortunately, the lady we love typically feels like this situation is just because of her. As men, we know that's just not true. We want that spark back just as much as she does. The Louisville Men's Clinic physicians hear this from struggling couples every day. Fortunately, that struggle in your relationship from erectile dysfunction can be gone in one simple visit to the Louisville Men's Clinic with a same-day solution. The joy of your relationship will be back. And the best part of it is seeing that spark back in the happy relationship. Call 444-4000. It's safe, simple, and private. 444-4000. Clinic visit, evaluation, and testing is just $99. LouisvilleMen'sClinic.com for more information. 444-4000.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
An official broadcast partner of the University of Louisville, WLCL Sellersburg is 93.9 The Ville.
Wild Rita's is Louisville's only modern Mexican tequila bar. And when it comes to great food at a great value, Wild Rita's is your best choice for happy hour, especially on game days. Why? Because they've got $4 Costaritas and half-price tacos and quesadillas from 4 to 7, Monday through Friday, every week. They're in the perfect location downtown on East Market, and they've got $1 drafts in the bar area before each U of L men's home game. At Wild Rita's, you can get tacos and other classic Mexican dishes prepared with a contemporary twist. Check them out at wildritas.com to see everything they have to offer today.
Time now for an ESPN Louisville Sports Center update.
Good morning, I'm Brian Hall. The Sports Center update brought to you by Great Flood Brewing Company, Louisville made and brewer owned. Louisville has found their man. The University of Louisville head football coaching search is now over. And today at 4:30 at the Brown and Williamson Club, Louisville Athletic Director Vince Tyree will announce former Appalachian State head coach Scott Satterfield as the new head coach of the University of Louisville. ESPN's Adam Rittenberg was on with our very own Bob Valvano yesterday, and he talked about Coach Satterfield.
I think Scott's very respected in the coaching profession, for what he's done at Appalachian State, transitioning that program from FCS to FCS and winning at a high level and winning conference championships. It's very, very impressive what he's done there. I think the only concern about Scott is this is a big jump. It's going from, a very familiar job, obviously, he's been there most of his life, to a new city.
Over the weekend, Satterfield led his App State team to the Sun Belt Championship, beating Louisiana 30-19. In his 6 seasons with the Mountaineers, he compiled a 51-24 record, and he is one of 6 coaches with 40 wins over the last 4 seasons. And that list includes Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney, Urban Meyer, Paul Christ, and Brian Harsin. We will be covering his introductory press conference at 4:30 right here on 93.9 The Ville. The Louisville football team did receive a bit of bad news yesterday, though, as 2019 3-star quarterback Jalen Johnson announced he will reopen his recruitment. But there was a lot of good news on the recruiting trail as well, as several new candidates have popped up for the Cards, including App State's top commitment, which is a 3-star running back named DJ Williams, who has many top offers, including Auburn, Georgia, Miami, and Alabama. The number 5 ranked Louisville women's basketball team will be back in action tonight, taking on Tennessee Martin at 7 p.m. at the KFC Yum Center. And the Louisville men's basketball team continues to prepare for Central Arkansas tomorrow at 7 p.m. at the KFC Yum Center. And last but certainly not least, Ohio State head coach Urban Meyer announced today that he will be retiring after the Rose Bowl And Ohio State offensive coordinator Ryan Day, who was once believed to be a candidate here at Louisville, will be taking over as the head coach. Keep it locked here. Middays with Marcus Maben is next. This is SportsCenter.
This is Marcus Maben, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville from the OPC Services Studio.
This is it. The final week of Genesis' incredible finance offer. You have until this Sunday to get 5 years zero-interest financing with zero down on any purchase. Guys, shop early and let Genesis help you with that home run gift. We have the jewelry women love. Prices starting at $250 up to $500,000. Rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, pendants in stock and ready to go. And with this special finance offer, everything's affordable. How about a $6,000 designer ring? You pay just $100 a month. Or go over the top with a $10,000 diamond bracelet and pay just $166 a month. It's the smartest and easiest way to buy. And yes, everything's included, even all GIA certified diamond engagement ring, as well as all Swiss timepieces. But please, hurry. This amazing offer ends this Sunday and will not be extended. 5 years, zero interest, and zero down. Genesis Diamonds. Open Sundays now till Christmas. Shelbyville Road Plaza. On approved credit, see store for details.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
Middays with Marcus Maben on 93.9 The Ville is broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services Studio. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben, 8150. 93.9 is the number. 939 is the station. People, cram the van. Here at ESPN Louisville, we've teamed up with Focus Sparkling Water to cram the van again. It was a huge success last year, people, and we need your help. We're cramming the van full of toys, clothes, and canned goods this holiday season to make Christmas better for some Louisville families. This Thursday, Focus Sparkling Water will match up to $5,000 in listener donations. We will give the money we raise to Wayside Christian Mission and the Salvation Army, and they'll go shopping at Kohl's for clothes and toys to fill the van. You can make a donation either in person at Lucky's Market on 200 North Hertzborn Parkway or online at our GoFundMe page or by phone. That's all on Thursday. So cram the van with ESPN Louisville, Focus Sparkling Water, and Sternberg Truck and Van Rental, and make the holidays better for some Louisville families. For more information, visit espnlouisville.com. It's always good when you get in this holiday, situation, and everybody gets very, very unselfish, which is a positive thing. It kind of re-energizes, reinvigorates your faith in the community. It makes me, I'll be honest, people, it makes me like my coworkers a little better around this time when I see everybody's trying to raise money for a good cause. It's always a good thing. I'm thinking about putting together some myself too. So, yeah, we'll get there. So here's the thing, Steve. A texter, a tweeter, a Facebook user, an Instagram user says, okay, what do we do now? We can't talk coaching searches. Now we just wait to listen to Satterfield when he gets here. We wait to hear what his plans are as far as assistant coaches. We wait to hear the game plan moving forward, right? I have acknowledged, sometimes we're a little selfish about this. We have acknowledged that there is so much less pressure on your sports program when you go beat Michigan State and Seton Hall at Seton Hall, right?
Yeah.
So,
especially when you actually got enough stones to go to Seton Hall, not play them in the Garden. But it's a good win.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Just wanted to get that out there.
Why would you do that?
We got a coach. I'm feeling good today.
What is that? What is that game anyway, Brian? What is that game anyway?
What game?
This Seton Hall, Kentucky thing in New York. Is that like some kind of classic?
I don't know.
Just a buy-in game. Like we'll
It's
play you, but we're not going. We're not going to New Jersey.
It's the Cal's not going to your gym classic. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Just ain't no way in God's green basketball that I'm going into New Jersey Seton Hall.
Yeah. So, but we did, and we won. I feel good about that. So,
just to make sure that Tori doesn't want to tie up loose ends on the football or something like that. Tori, thanks for joining us on the Scoring Collision Hotline. Fire away, my man.
Hey, man. Marcus, thanks for taking my call. Yeah, it's a great time to be a Louisville fan right now. I got a couple questions. Was Satterfield on that? Was he the head coach or maybe an assistant on that Appalachian State team that went up to the Big House and beat Michigan? I know they took Penn State the overtime. I mean, I am really excited about this hire. I think he'll do great at Louisville.
He was the quarterback's coach there.
He was the quarterback coach.
Yep.
Okay.
But he was on staff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then my second point is, too, I hate to switch to basketball on y'all, but, man, if you would have told me before the season started that Chris Mack would inherit a roster where he's got to get 3 grad transfers, and he comes in here, changes everybody's body, gets a number 1 recruiting class, and then beats Michigan State, I would have never believed you in a million years. The job this guy's doing is absolutely amazing. And, Steve, I don't know if you or Marcus have any update, but next Saturday I got a lot of Indiana fans that are talking a little bit of smack. Is Juwan Morgan going to play in that game, or what's his status? I don't really think it would make a difference if he plays or not. I still think Louisville will go in there and win. I think we're going to have a great season, and if everybody stays and add that to the class he's got coming in, as long as nobody transfers, which I don't see anybody doing, next year should be absolutely amazing. Thanks, guys, for taking my call.
No, listen, I appreciate the call. I mean, we started going into the basketball conversation a bit. He was on staff for the Satterfield question. The basketball question, he started off talking to grad transfers. I don't know. Did we do that on air, Steve, or were we talking yesterday evening when we were talking about
No, it wasn't on air.
Talking about grad transfers?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Brian, let me ask you, because Steve and I, sometimes we lose our content on air and off air. Did we talk about the backlash of going after some guy like Christian Cunningham, and who is this Quan 4 guy, and who is this Akoya Gal retread? Like, I don't
think we were like. I don't think y'all were really kind of bashing him, but I think y'all were kind of skeptical, kind of like the Scott Satterfield.
No, I don't think we were bashing him. I think we were saying it's going to help.
Yeah, I think y'all were more positive.
What I'm saying is, did we have that conversation on air yesterday? No, you don't remember?
I don't think it was yesterday.
Well, I'm telling you, it was on the phone. I remember having it. Yeah.
So Tori says, yeah, we're good. Tori says, if you would have told him, you would have got it done with grad transfers. And Steve and I were just kind of having a cigar and a big laugh, right? Because we said, Christian Cunningham is exactly what you need as an adult for this roster, right? A guy who cares, who wants to be here more than anybody. A guy who's already done his work, right, at Stanford, right? And, you got talent on the wings. You need an adult point guard. And you got to kind of develop Perry. Man, you can't help your team. Christian Cunningham, right? Stanford. So we were laughing about that. Then we were saying Quan 4. Oh, they couldn't get Chartouni for Marquette, so they went and got Quan 4. Yeah, Quan 4 was on his way to Tennessee. Number 5, Tennessee. Quan 4, there's a reason he was going there. That was an awesome last-minute flip and showed me Chris Mack can convince somebody that there's something at Louisville that you can't get at Tennessee. Flipped him. Will we agree that Quan 4 has probably been the best defender out of the guards?
Yeah.
Staying out of
one of them. Yeah. He's been good.
He's been good.
Yeah.
Would you say he was one of the most valuable defenders against Michigan State?
More so, I think Seton Hall. Yeah, but I think he was big time against Michigan State. Yeah.
So we could give him 30% of credibility.
Oh yeah,
credit
without question. Yeah.
And then you go Okoye Gal.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in the Tennessee game without Okoye Gal. Right?
Right.
He comes in, gets some fouls, gets some buckets. Okoye Gal has been the most valuable adult.
I don't know that you win Michigan State without him.
Right.
I thought he made a few big time plays at
the rebounds.
The one that he got over top, he blocks the shot and then pulls the rebound, almost mosses my man over. When it's like, dude, that's just grown man strength.
He went grown man.
Yeah.
Your top 3 grad transfers have all been exactly
what you need.
100%. And he's hit his free throws.
Mm-hmm.
He may have missed one free throw.
Yep.
This whole time. Comes in, draws fouls, gets to the line, hits his free throws. Are we like, is it time to celebrate those moves? Just to go ahead and say we were right and you were wrong.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you can, but it was. I mean, it's exactly what you need. These 3 guys coming in. And Mac
and
saw
hold
that.
water until Darius Perry's ready to go full throttle.
Yeah, well, because you remember Dino Gaudio coming on with Bob Valvano, and he said we looked at a few guys and we're like, that guy can't help us
beat Duke. Yeah,
that guy can't help us beat these guys, and they went and they got guys. Now, I'm not saying they didn't miss out on a few they wanted.
Let me ask you something about this basketball team. Just be creative here. We're waiting on Darius Perry to be ready to be the guy. Right? I think personally, Dwayne Sutton has decided he is ready to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He needs to be a little more selfish with his attitude. And I don't mean shooting selfish. I mean this is my team selfish.
Yeah.
I will make the play. I will make the rebound. I will grab people. I will make people play harder, right? Like that kind of selfishness. Ownership, right?
Sure. Yeah.
We're waiting on Darius. We're waiting on VJ, and we're waiting on Malik. Who's the closest to what we were waiting on?
Malik, I think.
81-50, 93-9, 38-31, 93-9. I just wanted to kind of have this conversation because we see development, but we see, let me put Steven in there too, right? Because Steven is still, I'm going to add him to the conversation because he's still getting good looks. He's still getting the good look, but he can't keep his hand out the cookie jar on the foul.
Yeah.
He's still catching up. Who's closest to being where they need to be?
I still think Malik. I think that Malik is, what I'm seeing him do off the ball and watching his commitment to fronting the post and watching his commitment to rebounding.
It's like he's copying Dwayne.
Yeah. Yeah. It's impressive, man. He's doing exactly what he's becoming, a serious big man. Whereas last year, I don't think you felt that way. I think you felt like, well, maybe he's a hybrid guy that, because I watched him his freshman year and I said, if this is how he's going to play, the only way he's going to make it in the league, he better start mimicking Kevin Durant. Because that's his, the way you're playing, you're going to have to start knocking down pull-ups and different stuff. Now you see him as a big man. He's legit.
A big man that can really shoot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we've seen him shoot three-pointers, right? The three-pointer he hit in the corner was different. It was different.
Oh, yeah.
It was. He had the extra fluidity to it.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm stepping out, banging this shot. It wasn't like I'm open, so here's my opportunity to try to shoot. No, he got the ball and he was like, I'm draining this.
Oh, yeah.
Like where he was competing.
Oh, yeah, and it was a big-time shot in a big moment. And I'm glad that he's not afraid to pull those.
That was a different Malik in that corner.
Absolutely.
Charles, thanks for joining us on 939. Fire away, my man.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Steve, I feel you on Malik because his competitive drive is different from it was last year. And I can't. What's the big man coach? What's his name?
Pegues.
I can't. Yeah, he's doing a real good job with the big man. But I'm gonna say, man, Dwayne Sutton is a different dude, man.
Yeah.
Dwayne Sutton's a different dude.
Is he? But is he different? Because I think he's being more of what he already was.
I can go with that. But like you said, I think Dwayne Sutton is a little bit away from, like you said, this is my team, because he's from here. And that's all I got.
No, listen, I appreciate
Appreciate
the call,
it,
Charles. I mean, I never doubted that for a second. Again, we always knew he had a different kind of game. He had the old school game. He knew how to get fouled. He knew how to, like, stick his chest into somebody and stop, penetration on the drive. Like, he knew how to do all the simple stuff that we were waiting, like that Coach Pitino doesn't necessarily, emphasize.
Right.
He just it's just a different style. We knew Dwayne Sutton was going to be, golly, I want to just, like, scrub all our sound and talk about how we said Coach Mack and his players look like a bunch of Dwayne Suttons.
Yeah.
If you watched Xavier, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of Dwayne Suttons and Malik Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't believe how exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't believe.
Spot on it was. I know. It's like
I can't believe how right we were.
Yeah, on that one, it's incredible because those two guys, he come right. Well, and I remember us sitting in here one day and just saying he's going to love Dwayne, and Dwayne,
Malik.
yeah,
Malik and Dwayne,
yeah, and to see them kind of flourishing the way they are, it's big time, man. It's why you have the wins you got.
Matt, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away.
I'm just calling to say I agree with you. It's Dwayne's team. It's his birthright. He was born in this city. He knows the importance of the front of the jersey as the back, and that's all I got to say. That's it.
No, listen, Matt.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, I'm all right with him being the face for this year and next year. Let Dwayne be the guy. Let Dwayne be the cornerstone of the new culture that is what Louisville's going to be. I'm perfectly fine with that. Great kid, tough player, makes plays, and dang talented.
You know what else is awesome too? You know what makes me feel like awesome on the inside? To see Malik Williams go from sitting on that bench, knowing the look in his face. I know that look. That look was, I got to get the hell out of here. Sorry, people. I got to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
This dude doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to see him go from that look to checking in the game and saying, hey, 2-7,
Yep.
Like, to see him go in there, y'all, to see him go in there in a game and bark it at the people.
Yeah.
And say, come on, man, let's get it done. Like, I'm proud of him. And the reason I brought that up.
Talking about Malik?
Yes.
Okay.
The reason I even bring that up is because he's one of those guys that can go from 0 to 100.
Oh, yeah.
And he can pop up on somebody's second round draft board in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. These guys are so bought into Mac that you're not going to lose anybody prematurely.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah.
And here's the thing. Anybody can get hot and then become a conversation, can become a league conversation.
Yeah.
Like, okay, everybody who's good, who has a good enough year to be talked about as far as going to the draft or anything, or running up the board and things like that, and using the Donovan Mitchell, last second bump, like everybody's the best players on the team are going to have an opportunity to go be talked about. Michigan State 90-68. Steve, did you call me last night?
Michigan State just absolutely blasted Iowa last night, who's top 20.
Right? Would you be scared of Michigan State ever in tournament time?
No.
So here's the thing. When you let me just get to the phone. Let me get to this phone lines right now. DJ, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away, my man.
It's PJ. But I just, what's up, Marcus? What's up,
Chilling.
What's good, man?
I'm proud of what Max is doing, and I'm ready to get behind Satterfield and get this program rolling again. But I did have a question for y'all, man.
Yes, sir.
How many top basketball programs play 5 games over the next 5 weeks?
Oh, man, that's
You look at Kentucky's schedule. Anytime they play anybody decent, they need a whole week to get ready for them. What y'all guys think about that? I'm going to hang up and listen.
I appreciate the call. Don't bait Steve into that. Why would you do that, PJ? Steve, what you got to say about that?
That's from what I've saw so far.
Would you agree with that?
A week is pretty smart. I don't mind if that's how you.
Hey, but Steve, Nick Richards is really developing.
Well, that's good.
You gonna tweet it out?
No, I'm not.
If you know people, you know that was an insider.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah, that's great. No, I get what he's saying. I don't mind it during this time of the year.
Yeah, you don't want any ugly, missteps, because they could be the difference between 7 and 9 seed. Before I went to the phone, I was just talking about you're not going to lose any guys prematurely to Dangadelling it. Ray Spalding it. Right? Like Ray Spalding just was balling enough to get his foot in the door. Ray Spalding, like you said, you gave him 100%, dude, you got to do this because they don't take seniors, Yeah. But I see this team as saying, no, I'm here for at least one more. I'm here with this coach to make a run at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, even if you went to the Elite Eight this year, right? Whoever leads you is going to be talked about in the draft process. Or if you keep it spread out, if you keep your scoring spread out, then it won't be any individual, breakout, league guys.
Well, and don't a lot of times I think people look at these kids and you say
that's all they want.
They just want to go to the league.
Yep.
Don't discredit. Now, if somebody now say like a guy like Wara or somebody like that shows up in first round, different. Do you think? But
back in first round?
Well, no, my point is if somebody's at a point where they can't refuse.
Yeah. If they say you're projected at 21, you got to go.
But these guys, you can tell they love Max so much that don't be surprised when you see a situation where you go, these guys know how good they're going to be next year. Where you say, hey, you bought into me. I'm going to buy into you next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll have a top 10 team next year, and let's go at it.
Let me get back to this phone line. Bobby, thanks for joining us on ESPN.
What? What are you talking about?
Good Lord, that was bad.
What show are you okay?
I was thinking about the pregame show, and I said it. Thanks for joining us on the ESPN Louisville pregame show, Bobby. It's my show. Do what I want. No, fire away, my man.
What's up, gentlemen?
Good.
Chilling.
Oh, goodness. So I hate to draw parallels to this, and I'd like to hear your opinion, because, Marcus, I look at your opinion especially is educated beyond most people's, especially in basketball.
Just basketball.
But the 2013 team, this team actually reminds me of the 2012 team. Remember that building year that they really had? Before, when they went to I guess it was the Final Four year when we lost to UK before we won the national championship the next year.
Right.
And there was a lot of growth in that year. And you could see it game to game to game. And you watch Peyton Siva become the leader of the team, and you watch Russ Smith become the scorer, and Gorgie really get that, mid-range jumper down and things like that. And I just see so many parallels between the two. I watched Dwayne Sutton becoming the guy, and the team, not only the team, but the city trust with the team, and they really embrace him. And then I watched Wara becoming the scorer and things like that. I just kind of wanted to see what you guys thought about that and see if you could expand on it, or if you thought maybe it wasn't a good parallel. So,
listen, I appreciate the call. I'll say this: yes, this is super talented growth year. You're just learning what he expects of you.
Yeah.
Before I went to the phone, I was thinking about the pregame show, and I was thinking about this is kind of just where my head was. I was thinking about talking about Darius Perry. I was also looking at the 2013 game yesterday, which is a whole nother tie-in. Do you realize that Darius Perry is the most under control point guard that you've ever seen when you compare him to last year's Darius Perry? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you ever? Okay, Peyton Siva. I'm glad you said 2013. You know how Peyton Siva could get to the basket whenever he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
He could split a double team. He could force somebody to foul him because he's fast.
Yes.
Darius Perry got a call. He got a call that went against him where he was kind of in transition. The guy was guarding him, and Darius Perry kind of like put the guy in jail behind him, held out his arm, like got in front of a guy. Okay, people, this is something that personally to me, it gives me the chills. When you get around somebody, right, and you're not focused on the people in front of you, you don't care about holding the guy behind you, almost like grabbing him and keeping him right on your back hip, right? So this is one guy that's accounted for. I know he's on my back hip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm keeping my hand out there, and I'm comfortable with the ball in my left hand and my right hand out holding this guy right behind me. And when this guy jumps in front of me or does something, I'm going to pull up, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get as far to the basket as I can and then decide, right? That means his whole brain has slowed down.
Yeah.
His whole brain. And to hear a commentator say, boy, he likes the contact, right?
Yeah.
Darius Perry on the offensive end likes the contact. Dwayne Sutton likes the contact.
Yeah.
VJ King is charging because he doesn't know how to take advantage of the contact yet.
Right.
But he's trying. Right? It's a virus of education that's spreading on the team. We're gonna have to discuss the big man. We're gonna have to have that big man conversation because it's a different game. Quick commercial break. Middays with Marcus Maben, 8150, 93.9 is the number on 93.9 The Ville.
Would you like to keep up with everything going on at the University of Louisville? Well, U of L Today with Mark Hebert is the show for you. Every Monday and Tuesday night at 6, we talk to U of L researchers about their discoveries that impact lives in medicine, education, and a host of other fields. We also chat with U of L students who are doing great things in the classroom and around the world. You'll also hear how U of L is changing the Louisville community. Check it out, U of L Today with Mark Hebert, every Monday and Tuesday night at 6 on 93.9 The Ville.
Are you ready to sell your home? Well, there couldn't be a better time. Houses are going for top dollar and selling quickly. You need to call Jill Blessinger with Keller Williams. She has a team of professionals that will help you sell your home quickly and get the most for it. She is a professional home stager and photographer. And when you're ready to buy, she works with Becky Bleemel of Caliber Home Loans. She makes the loan process very simple. And if you mention you heard this on Middays with Marcus Maben or ESPN, your appraisal is absolutely free. So give Jill a call today at 502-773-0546. That's 502-773-0546. And let her help you today.
It's basketball season, and the Troll Pub under the bridge next to the KFC Young Center has you covered. The Troll Pub is in the heart of Whiskey Row, and with over 25 HD TVs in the house, you won't miss a second of the action for any big game. Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere. The Troll Pub under the bridge, a unique underground dining experience. Oh, don't forget to take a selfie with Louie, too.
So, Steve, what do you think about Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Centers, man?
Let me just say, I had a friend who totally ruined his car. They got him taken care of quick, efficiently, and out the door.
Family owned and operated for over 70 years, Ed Scorns is the leader in auto repair technology and technician training. Do not let just anyone repair your vehicle. It's your choice. Tell your insurance company you're taking your vehicle to Bill at Scorns and Sons Collision Centers. There are 2 locations, Bardstown Road and Shelbyville Road in Middletown. Or call us at 491-BODY or visit us at etscorns.com. That's ETSCORNS.com.
I'm Brandon Lang, and many of you know me from the movie Two for the Money with Academy Award-winning actor Matthew McConaughey playing me. Man, do I wish I had his head of hair. But unfortunately, I don't. And the bad news is, as I've gotten older, going bald is something I couldn't control. But wait, with bad news comes good news. Parsley Waldman Hair Center of Louisville made me young again with the greatest hair transplant surgery in America and more affordable than you can imagine. From the moment I walked in the door at Parsley Waldman in the morning until the time I left that night, Dr. Waldman made me feel comfortable as if I was sitting at home watching TV. Waldman's staff was fantastic, and Dr. Waldman was with me every step of the way. I never thought getting hair again would be so easy. Go to hairsurgery.com and find out how you can be young again. That's hairsurgery.com. It will be the best decision you ever made.
What good is it having that beautiful view on your front and backyard if you can't see through your old grimy windows? Or how about when you let a little fresh air and your windows are constantly getting stuck? If this sounds like your current situation, it's time to make that call to Windows Plus. They have the best free lifetime transferable warranty, the best installation in town, quality products, doors, windows, siding, and gutters. They've also been voted the most efficient for 2018 and an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and all 5-star reviews, which means these are exactly the new windows you've been looking for. So go visit them at 11501 Plantside Drive, Louisville, Kentucky, or 502-494-0120. That's Windows Plus. Make the call.
Chances are you recently talked about it, or thought about it, or might even be thinking about it right now. You're thinking it's time to upgrade your vehicle, and boy, do we have the place for you. Globe Auto Sales. Family owned and operated, serving the greater Kentuckiana area since 1972. Why Globe Auto Sales? Well, the answer is simple. The staff at Globe Auto Sales focuses entirely on the quality buying experience, not the high-pressured sales pitch you get at other places. So while you're thinking about it, stop by Globe Auto Sales located at 5705 Bardstown Road. Check out their inventory at Globe Autos online. Oh, and be sure to tell them you're a friend of 93.9 The Ville.
This is U of L Today with Mark Hebert.
The University of Louisville is breaking down barriers for adults to come back to school and finish their college degree. And those numbers are growing significantly. More after this.
It's time to stop putting off your dreams and make them a reality. With loans from Commonwealth Credit Union, someday is today. To learn more about all our amazing loan programs, visit ccuky.org/loans. Commonwealth Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Millions of Americans started college but never finished. Now they're heading back to get that college degree. U of L adds about 400 of those students each year. Average age, 40, but some are as old as 70.
So they're coming back for a range of reasons. That one being personal fulfillment, number 2, career advancement, and number 3, which relates to a lot of people, and that is inspiration of family members.
Matt Bergman from U of L's College of Education and Human Development says the university has streamlined the process for reapplying and knocked down barriers for returning students who want that degree.
They are welcomed back with open arms, and they don't have to go through the SAT or ACT process. Can you imagine a 50-year-old saying, oh, I got to go back and do the SAT? Forget it.
Most of the older students trying to complete their degrees are also working full-time, according to Bergman.
But when we offer online, when we offer evening, when we offer weekend classes, you don't have another excuse.
Making it easier to get a college degree. We are U of L.
It's the final days before Christmas. The crowds are gnarlier. The traffic's heavier. Here's a tip. The one thing most everyone on your list has in common? They drive. And if they drive, they probably like to drive a clean car. That's why wash books from Mike's Car Wash make a practical gift for all the drivers on your list. Buy them at any Mike's location or at mikescarwash.com. Plus, buy 4 washes and get 2 free on our Ultimate and Works wash books. Avoid those gnarly crowds and pick up wash books from Mike's Car Wash, because everyone washes their car.
Merkley Kendrick Jewelers, the second oldest jeweler in the country, has offered exquisite diamonds, vintage jewels, and elegant timepieces since 1832. From engagement, parenthood, and wedding anniversaries to graduations and retirement celebrations, we commemorate your milestones. Merkley Kendrick Jewelers is located at 138 Chenoweth Lane or online at mkjewelers.com. Trusted since 1832. Merkley Kendrick Jewelers.
This is Drew Diener, and you're listening to 93.9 The Ville, live from the OPC Services Studio.
You're listening to Middays with Marcus Maben, broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maben and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maben. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station, people. We were going to talk a little, big man. We were going to talk a little, I don't want to say disappointment versus excitement, because I'm okay. I'm okay with cheap fouls, learning how to avoid cheap fouls. I'm okay with saying we've gotten some ticky-tack big man calls. We don't really go to, in these big games. But the conversation got derailed instantly. I was in the bullpen, the water cooler. We were having a conversation. I hate doing this because we have a game. You have a game. You got Central Arkansas coming up, right? And you don't want to turn into that guy who starts looking ahead. And I hope none of the players, when I have this conversation, I want the players on the team, the coaches on the team, absolutely cover your ears, because we got to have a conversation that should never be had. I'm looking ahead to Indiana, right? I am looking ahead. I know we have a game, but the conversation is leading up to Indiana. When you play this game, you're gonna see Coach Mack installing principles that you're gonna have to use at Indiana, right? That's what you do. You take advantage of a team you should beat and use the style that you should have to use when you play Indiana. Saturday, you're playing Indiana. So, Brian, I got to ask you this. Steve was in the back. I'll just give people his opinion. YouTubers like, where's Steve?
He's been in the back.
Michigan State was impressive. Indiana at Indiana. Not ranked Indiana, right? Which win would be more impressive?
It's tough. I remember when you gave this question a while back, we had the 4-game stretch, and you said, what would be the biggest win?
It was Michigan State.
We all picked Michigan State.
Right.
Worked out
I'm glad you brought that up on me. I'm glad you
Yeah.
checked me on that one.
But when you compare Michigan State and Indiana, I mean, the road win is something that's difficult to get. So when you can get – and don't get me wrong, even though they're not ranked in the top 25, they are a team that will be in the top 25. They just had a tough loss to Duke, and everybody's going to have that. But
Tough loss to Duke, tough at Arkansas.
Do what now?
Tough loss at Arkansas.
And yeah.
1 point on the road, right?
Yeah.
But
they're still a tournament team, though.
Here's the problem.
You got Romeo.
Here's the problem.
You want to beat Romeo.
Here is the problem. We would have sold our third born for a win against Michigan State.
We would have.
Third born, I got 2 right now. I'd give.
At least say you'll sell, Steve, not give.
Final 4.
Listen,
he's 9 and he's 3 months.
Look. The little one, he's unlimited potential. Look, the big one, we're gonna get his footwork.
The big one, we're working on it. And
we're gonna get his footwork, loosen up his hips, and listen, he's a potential moneymaker. Yeah. So here's the thing. We started talking about it.
By the way, I freaked my wife out with that the other day. She was holding our baby, and she was like, I love you more than anything in the world. She said, I wouldn't trade you for anything. And across the room, I said, 4 straight titles. She was like, oh, my gosh, I can't believe you actually said that.
You know she said that.
4 straight titles, babe. 4.
Like, come on, babe, let's think about this.
I was like, dude. Okay, I'm sorry.
She's going to stab
I know.
you.
She was like, oh, my God, I can't believe you actually said that. Do you mean that, don't you?
Listen, from this point on, I'd be careful what I say around her.
I know.
She's going to start recording you.
I know.
And she's going to release the
She's going to release the fast. Because as soon as she said it, I was like, I don't know, 4 straight titles.
Which means it came fresh off your brain.
Like,
fresh off the press. Like, that wasn't the time to think about it.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So the Michigan State situation.
Yes.
You couldn't have been happier, right?
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And then I said, I asked Jason Anderson, I said, can Louisville beat Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, of course you can beat Indiana, right?
Yeah.
Like, of course. So now I started thinking about it. And my response to Jason Anderson, do you know how long Indiana fans have been waiting to get Louisville back in Bloomington. Think about that. Indiana fan is going to get Louisville in their gym. When was the last time we were there?
Oh, gosh.
Like Donovan's first year?
No, we didn't play there. We played in Indy.
Yeah, we were in Indy. That's what it was.
I can't remember being in Bloomington. I mean, I'm sure we was.
Right.
Kelly Dickey, you'd have to answer that.
Right, but other than, I kind of got thrown off by
because we played them at Freedom Hall a couple times too.
Okay. So basically,
it's been before you were there.
Right.
I mean,
but,
I don't mean that as a shot. I mean, but years ago. But I mean, yeah, if you didn't play there, I don't think.
How bad are they dying? How bad are they dying to get you in there?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Those kids on that team have never seen a fan base that's going to be that furious.
And there's been a little bit of, I mean, let's not, the local storyline, this won't get national. There's been a little bit of heat between IU and Louisville. You know, there was a little bit of whether it was leaked or what, or different stuff. I mean, there was a little bit of, we felt like Katina Powell was a little, we kind of accused
you had
them
some fingers on it.
Yeah, and there was different stuff like that. So the Romeo Langford.
Yeah, just listen, the recruiting ground, the fertile recruiting ground of this area, you get Malik Williams over Indiana, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is serious, right? You said, make your statement again when you compare the two games.
I said I would think I will be more impressed if they go in and beat Indiana in Assembly Hall than I was even with the Michigan State win.
Even though they're not top 20?
Yeah, I think I am, man. I think with the environment you're going to walk into on Saturday.
We're going to get buzzsawed.
No, I don't think anybody's going to blow this Louisville team out, man. They're just so tough.
They're focused. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. When I say they're going to get buzzsawed, that was a thought. I could see a situation where they just get hot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that stupid energy where a team just.
By the way, last time in Bloomington was 2003. So we did play in Bloomington with Mike Davis. Still a long time. I mean, it's 2018.
Right?
Yeah.
You'd be impressed with that win. Okay, what about a tough loss?
I mean,
what about a 5-point loss?
Depending. I mean, unless we just crap the bed.
At the end of the game.
Then you say, because there is a little bit of expectation on this team now. And if you just come out and you play like crap, I mean, it's like, well, I mean, it ain't that IU just look great. It's that you come out and look like crap. Then I think you're aggravated. But if you lose a good game where IU makes a Romeo Langford or somebody just hits a few big shots down the stretch and beats you, and you go, it's a tough environment.
And here's the thing. I'm not worried about Romeo Langford going crazy.
Yeah, I'm not saying I am. I'm just using him as far as,
That's the part that surprises me, because I'm like, Romeo Langford is going to have a problem with our rotation of guys.
Yeah.
Between our Suttons and Maliks and, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But he's good.
Man, yeah, no, he's good. He's really good. But, man, if you go in there and you out-tough Indiana in Assembly Hall and beat them, I'm telling you, and I'll be on.
Jeez, I can't even take that.
I'm on post game for Indiana. That will be the day that I pick up that headset and I say, okay, let's go. Now we're in. Like, let's play.
Elaborate.
I'll say that is the day that I'll say it's not just expectation. Like, it's beyond expectation now. Now this team's a tournament team. This team is No, I'm not saying like a tournament team. I'm saying this team is a threat in the tournament to move to do something.
My God,
yeah.
I was gonna rip your throat out.
Yeah.
for 1 second, Steve.
Right.
You know how you go like you elevate, your heart rate elevates instantly when you say like.
No, not a tournament team. I mean, I believe this team is going to make the tournament, but
you're in it.
But
you're in the top four. You're in the 4. You're in a pod where you're a top 4 seed in a pod.
I'm still in the range though, where I'm like, hey, top 6 in the ACC. Try to make a second weekend. Those are huge victories. I'm still sitting.
You're
there.
sitting there at 5.
Yeah, I'm sitting there. Dude, they go beat IU. I'm like, I won't even say that, but I'll say top 6 in the tournament. I'll say, dude, you're a top 6 seed. You're not a You're not a sneak in first weekend team. You're gonna make some noise.
Clay just called in. He wanted to make a point. Marquette got beat by Indiana by 23 this season.
Yeah, see, I hate that just drives me nuts, man. God, that drives me absolutely crazy when people do that. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I know that just drives me insane. Like,
but I just did that with Michigan State over Iowa, though.
No, but I mean, but when it's like, well, yeah, but I mean, we barely beat Marquette. Do you watch the Marquette game? Do you watch the Louisville Marquette game? And did you watch the Marquette Indiana game?
We were 20 points better than.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, did you? I mean, that I just, gosh, it just drives me crazy. Like, so, okay, well, Marquette. Marquette
number 12 Kansas State. That was a nice win for them.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so Marquette beat them by 20. Okay, well then we know Indiana's 27 points better than us. Okay. No, if you watch those two games, and by the way, that game was played almost a month ago. We're talking 3.5 weeks already.
A month ago, we would have got demolished by any of these teams probably.
Yeah, if Louisville and Indiana had opened the season, Indiana would have beat Louisville by 15, 20 points. I agree with that.
Michigan
Absolutely.
State.
Probably the same. Yeah, I agree.
You needed Vermont to start buying in.
And I'm not being mean at Clay. Like, I
because
Clay
said what everybody says.
Yeah. Like, but I just that. Oh man, that thought process though. It's like that was two different games. And if you watch that Marquette game, what were we all saying? We were watching that Marquette game, going, if it's going to be called like that, Marquette beat anybody. Because in the same breath, like Brian just said, Marquette went in and just beat the crap out of number 12 K-State. Howard had 45. So I could say, well, Louisville's trended way up. I mean, I don't know.
Dwayne, don't send me text messages like this. See, I'm telling you, Steve, I'm gonna have to cut my friends, right? Because Clay says that to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Dwayne, to your point with the Mark May tweet, what was it? Mark May tweet?
Oh, about Urban Meyer being back in 2020.
And then Dwayne texts me, we should have waited on Satterfield, Urban Meyer. Right? Dude, get off my text line. Right? Just stop it. Right? Like, I didn't want to read that in the middle of the show. Speaking of the football conversation, speaking of the new coach, you called it, you asked for it. Brian Hall, this is something we are like obligated to do as a part of ESPN Louisville. Open up the interview for him.
We are glad to have Ethan Joyce on. Ethan Joyce on the line with us as I spill my coffee right in front of me. Ethan, good morning. Welcome in.
Good morning. I know you guys want to talk about that, but I'm good with talking cars and axes as well. If we want to stay on that clip.
Have you thrown axes before?
I have not. I really wanted to. I don't think there's an axe throwing place here in Winston-Salem. So I need to find one, though. I definitely need to find one.
Well, tell us about who we're welcoming today here with Scott Satterfield. I mean, if there's something that defines him, whether a style of play or personality, what is it?
The thing about Scott Satterfield, and I was telling somebody this yesterday, is that I feel like a lot of times we qualify coaches with a phrase like, well, he's just a decent human being, like you deserve a pat on the back for being a decent human being. And Scott Satterfield is just he is a person I enjoy and a person that I would enjoy talking to, even if my job didn't dictate that. He's a very laid back guy. He's a very big proponent of culture. He's come from an App State culture that I would say you could look across this nation and it'd be hard pressed to find one that's going to be a lot better than App State football has been these last 20 or so years now. But
what do you mean by that? Because I've heard that by culture. Like, what defines that culture beyond just winning? What are other elements of it?
I would say that there's always been kind of an underdog, chip on the shoulder quality to App State, and I think that's something that a lot of people embrace around there. But it's I don't know. It's a very unique feeling, and I've been around a few football programs, but this is definitely one that's proud of its history and has its sights set on future. And I mean, it's continued to skyrocket, especially in this FCS to FBS transition.
Is he? I mean, I guess with an offensive background, what are his offenses like? I know they've been effective, but why are they effective?
So Scott, he helped bring a spread offense to App State in the 2000s, and became the play caller for App State during his time as assistant coach. And he runs a spread. It's a very fast offense. He likes to get his athletes the ball in space. He likes having a mobile quarterback. The offense has some option tendencies. And that's not to say you're going to see something like a Georgia Tech offense or, something like that. But you're going to see guys, moving around in motion because it kind of creates these wrinkles that Scott likes. He likes having a quarterback that can run a bootleg. This year, I've really gotten to see a good bit more of like RPO action where they have a tight end kind of working toward the sideline, but they have all these kind of wrinkles working along with that too. And it's become really, really potent this year because they found a quarterback that was, strong-armed and, very quick on his feet. And the offense has been, one of the better ones in the nation this year for that reason.
Let me ask you a question that always interests me. I don't know if it interests anybody else, but most of the football coaches I've interviewed over a long period of time are one-dimensional characters. They really can't talk about anything except football. I'm serious. I say in my book that if they ever outlawed cliches, football coaches would have nothing to say. But is he a
avid Shakespeare reader?
No, I mean, is he intellectually curious? Is he interested in things more than football? Will he be active on campus in the university community?
So I will say that when it comes to asking about strategy and things, he will hit you with coach speak. And I think that's just kind of the nature of the business now. But I will also say that Scott is probably what I would